Hey everyone, Hunter here again. Had a question come across the other day on how to apply Future to your clear parts and how to keep that material from running when you put it on. I don't do this on every model that I put together. When it comes to my glass and stuff like that, I am pretty particular, but the Tamiya kits seem to be real nice. They seem to be pretty thin when it comes to glass. So I just basically go and do a polishing process with Tamiya polishing compounds on that and just buff them out and then paint my black around the inside of them. But if you're messing with some of the older stuff like the AMT kits and stuff like that that have the thicker glass in them, here's a little procedure that I do with the Future, and it's pretty simple. We're going to start out. I've got some Future in a bottle here. I take it out of the big bottle that it comes in and put it in a small, I think this is a 4-ounce bottle that I put it in. And I've got a solo cup here that's been cut off. I've got some Windex in a little pump bottle. And a piece of cloth that you clean your eyeglasses with. Or any soft cloth will work for this. That's a handy little piece. It's a little square of it, so it works real good. And I've got a piece of paper towel here. And the part that we're going to be doing. This is out of an AMT truck kit here. I think it's, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is AMT. It come out of the parts box just to do this demonstration. But what I do here is take my Future that I've got in my little 4-ounce bottle here, and I will just dump that over into this cut-off solo cup. And try not to get any contaminants in this. Because when you do this, you're only dipping in your glass, and then once you're done with that, you can pretty much take the Future and put it right back in your bottle that you dumped it out of. So, try not to get any, specks of, big stuff down in there where it's really going to contaminate your Future. And if you're real particular about it, you could also take a paint strainer that I use when I strain paint into my airbrush and just sit in the top of this bottle here and strain it back into it, and you're good to go. So next procedure that we do is, if you look at the part here, you will notice I left some of the parts tree on it that I'm holding. That's for the later stages on when this is drying. I don't know if you can see, it's got some scratches in it. Yeah, right there you can see some scratches in it. It's kind of got like a haze across it, and you can see it there. Somebody told me about using a black cloth or a black background for, doing these and making the camera focus. I did a couple of test experiments. It works. The person who gave me that idea, thank you very much. It does seem to work very well for the camera that I'm using. So that was a great little, hint of information there. So thank you very much for that. So, next step that I do is just basically take your, Windex in your little pump bottle, and I'll put a little bit on there and just kind of make sure you get it, all around the glass, just like you're cleaning a regular piece of glass in your house or something like that. And then I'll take a little piece of shop towel just to get the excess off of it, so it's not a whole bunch left. Now that's still got a wet haze to it, and then I go in with my little eyeglass polishing cloth and just kind of wipe that around, scrubbing both sides of it. The main thing is you want to get all your mold release agents and stuff like that off of this glass. You don't want anything on it. You don't want dust on it, because once you seal it with the Future, it's in there. So just your main thing is, and if you've got any flash or anything around your glass at this point, try to get most of that cleaned up all the way around your edges, except for your connection point here. Now sometimes I will do this in 2 stages. I will actually use a small rubber, it's a rubber covered alligator clip, and I will hold the part right here and dip the first half into my Future and then let that dry. And then after that's dry, I will flip the part over and hold it with the alligator clip on this side and do the other half of it. It comes out pretty well. You would think you would see where you could dip it at 2 separate times, but you don't. So we've got this cleaned up. And all we're going to do next is we're going to take that part and just dip it into our future and pull it back out. And this is the part where I've heard people say that it runs, and yes, it will. There's a way to kind of get rid of some of your excess here, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to dip it back down in there one more time, and then we're going to pull it back out and just kind of let that drip dry there a little bit. And then you will have some pooled at the very bottom of it. You can see it right there toward the bottom edge where it's pooled. Just take a piece of paper towel, or in this case, this is the blue shop cloth that I used, and just lightly touch just the edge of it to that towel, and you will see where it wicked the excess material off of the glass onto the towel. And at that point right there, you're pretty good. It gets rid of all those lines that was in the glass, and it does make it a lot more clear than what it was. The optical clarity comes back to it. So, you know, if you look at it and there's something wrong at this point that you don't really like, you can wipe this off real quick. Just hit it with a little bit of the Windex there and get this back off of it and repeat the procedure. And another way you can do it is, if you don't like the way that the future laid down on the glass, you can also dip it back into your future again. And say you get like a speck of dust or something on it, a lot of times what you can do is just dip it like this, and it will draw that dust off. And like I say, if you strain your future to go back in your bottle, that dust will come, you know, it'll be strained out of it. So there we just repeated the process. Same thing, touch it on here, get the excess off. And yeah, that actually looks a whole lot better there now. You can see how clear that came out. I mean, it's still got some excess on it, but it did come out very clear. Let me touch it back here again, get a little bit more of this excess off of it. And that pretty much is all there is to it. And the final step that I do, once I've got that to that point, is I will take a piece of this, it's actually floral foam that I use, and I've actually pushed it down on the table. This is a round piece here, so I just push it down on the table to flatten off the bottom of it so it doesn't roll away. And just take your part and stick right into it just like that, and let it dry. Now, if you're worried about dust or whatever, you can take this and put a big lid over top of this, or you can set it in a cabinet where, you know, dust won't fall down on it. Whichever way works good. And, you know, it looks kind of funny, and it'll seem like it's got runs and stuff in it right now. Not all the time, but sometimes you'll look at it and go, well, that doesn't look smooth. Let it dry. This stuff self-levels real nice, so as you let it dry, here in about a half an hour, this stuff is going to be, it'll look just like a crystal clear piece of glass. So, you know, hopefully that gives you an idea on how easy Future is to do to bring back the optical clarity of your parts, of your clear parts. So if you have any questions or concerns, just shoot me a question on the video or by PM, either way, and I'll be more than glad to get back to you. And like always, I thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you later.